How you going?
Look, I feel like Kobe 24, you know I had to ice my wrist.
What is up, YouTube? It is time to get on stage. So we are 5 days out. It is peak week. There is a lot to run through today. We've been making changes daily since Friday now. Chris is the man with the plan and everything is going according to. So today is sort of 2 to 3 RAR back session. Going to be mixed with a lot of posing, a lot of kind of questions and talk. Like, it's really not going to be a long session in terms of training. We're easing back intensity, easing back effort. The body simply isn't there right now. I really hit a progression wall about 2 weeks back, and we've kind of been trying to sustain, maintain, hold as much strength as possible during these sessions. Right now, the biggest thing that we're going to touch on soon will be the fatigue and exhaustion that is being experienced right now that I could not put into words if I wanted to. But we got to get into all of that. We've got a back day, we've got posing. From here, we're going to be capturing every single day going forward as we get into the show, updating changes, weights, measurements, all of it. Chris has me weighing in 4 times a day. Photos now are twice a day. All of it is happening now to get exactly what look we want to see come Saturday and know that the work has been done and we're bringing out the freshest possible physique we can. So I'm confident in what we've done. The work is being finished. We're now really just etching in and fine-tuning the details. And yeah, we're gonna go through all that today as we get through the session and sort of explain to you guys how a simple peak week really should run. But yeah, a lot to get through, a lot of pushes, a lot of pulls, plenty of posing, and yeah, let's get stuck into it. Perfect timing this week. It's because they're lazy as fuck, but I'll take it. Last week was the mid-semester break, so no lectures, no tutorials, no homework. This week, because an assessment is due, which I've already done, I finished it 2 weeks ago, they've done no tutorials, no lectures, no workshops to give you time to finish the assessment. We're at the stage of university where kids get weeks off to finish an assessment. In high school, you have to go to school, even if you have assessments due. You still have to go to school to do your to do your normal classes. We're giving adults the week off to get their assessments finished because they can't time manage properly. But for me right now, it just means that I get a whole week. I went to check work this morning. What do I have to get done before stage? Nothing. Just a week off.
Nice.
Normally that would piss me off. I'm paying $2,000 for a unit to only get 9 weeks of work because kids need time off for assessments.
So peak week.
Yep.
What actually matters this week and what doesn't?
What matters this week, I just put a post about this. In all things that you're doing, primarily the biggest focus point should be to reduce stress, both physiologically and psychologically, so the body's in a prime state to absorb and utilize the foods, the sodium, potassium, and the water that you put into it, so you can bring out your best look. The more stressed you are, the more stress you carry, the harder it is for your body to handle everything, to tolerate everything, to digest everything, to process everything. The more you have to put in, the more you try to compensate, the less it reacts the way you want it to, and the more everything starts to struggle. So getting stress under control at this point, meaning less output, less training intensity, or less overall intention in the gym, relaxing at home, less life work if you can, mentally just practicing whatever psychological skills you have or understand, reflecting that the work is done, all that pays off to just reducing total levels of fatigue and allowing your body to just basically pop. That is what this week realistically is about.
Has anything surprised you about how this week feels?
One of the, probably the biggest thing that's been surprising is it's the first time I'm going into a show confident. Confident in the sense that, not to win, but confident that the plan has matched my effort, the result matches the effort that I put in, and that every single thing that could possibly be done has been done. Outside of that, I don't care if I come dead last or first place. I am confident that what me and Chris have brought is the best that I've ever looked, that every single box for the last 12 months has been ticked, and that it's paid off, both for now, this season, but also what it's going to propel me for in the future when we rebound out of this and start to grow into the next 2 to 5 years. So for me, it's it's definitely the confidence, but also there was a degree of emotionality to the check-in that I got from Chris on Friday. I didn't expect it, but just, it hit me that it's been 3.5 years since I've been on stage. There's been a lot of fuck-ups and mishaps in between. And obviously last season didn't go to plan, but the amount of work that's been gone into it, and I actually sat down for a second and realized that this is the first time that I've ever felt like my physique matches the lifestyle and the effort that I live. I've kind of always looked sort of like it, and like, you know, I talk a lot of game, and this is probably the first time where I genuinely felt like I looked like the effort that I put in matches. And that's a pretty big statement for me to make, because I've never ever felt like that before. That's probably, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. I got a question for you, Phil.
All right.
You have been with me since the documentary we did leading into 2022.
Uh-huh.
What do you see as the biggest difference in me this season? Like, you were there for like peak week that time. It's peak week this time. There's been 3.5 years in between. Like, what do you think is the...
Well, what I think, and even you from your show when we first filmed 3 years ago, to even all your client shows in between, and now coming back to your own, I think I've noticed you're just less stressed or less worried about the outcome, because I think, you know, you've put in the right amount of work and you've had the right guidance. So I think that's it. I thought you were going to be more of a cunt to deal with during this prep, but you've just been less stressed and more in control than I thought.
Yeah.
So, and of course you look amazing. No homo.
All homo.
All homo.
I think that's been the biggest thing, is like this prep, and I teach this to my clients. So, you know, I always believe that I'm living the philosophy that I teach, and that's why it matters that it represents. But I teach all my clients to set the outcome goal as the focus, but then your attention goes to the process goals daily to execute. And for me, the biggest thing is just focusing on, like, day to day, what variables can I control and what can't I control? We lost our Instagram. Cool, what next? I had 4 wisdom teeth come out that didn't clot properly. Cool, what next? You know, we had to get through assessments, had to deal with lazy teachers, had to, you know, make adjustments to our plans and itineraries because of us pre-booking things for podcasts and workshops in America. Cool, what next? They're all just things that happen, and we can't control whether they happen or not, but we can control how we respond to them. And that's been probably my biggest focus this season. A client wraps up their time with us. Cool. They got a great result. We focus on the clients we have. Get new clients. Cool. We double down and make sure we take care of them. All that's just things that there's no point getting more stressed than it needs to be in order to make something happen. There's what I can control. There's what I can't control. I can't control anyone else's efforts, how they show up, how they pose, how they train, how they execute. I can't control clients finishing up. Can't control clients signing up. All I can control is what I do every single day that takes us towards the goal. I think that's been the biggest shift mentally over the last couple of years, like you said.
Been good. Been good to watch. Now go heavier. Call me Superman.
Actually, what's been probably the most humbling thing of my entire life was the amount of people literally around the world. We spoke about this on a day in life the other day. Literally people around the world messaging, asking for photos, checking for updates, showing support, helping out, sending audio messages. I've got pro bodybuilders that have messaged me. I've got pro videographers that have messaged us. We've got manual therapists that work with pro bodybuilders. We've got business owners, everything. People just like clients, especially clients. Like, I don't believe that I should get let off easy as a coach because I'm prepping. But the amount of clients that are like, I'm motivated because I'm watching what you're doing. Or like, I'm inspired by the fact that you're pushing so hard. If I want to complain about my diet, I've been seeing you and how lean and hungry you are and watching your videos that makes me want to go harder. It's like, the fact that all of that is just from my season competing. It's definitely a very humbling experience this time around. That I did not expect. It's not entitled. No one gives a shit that you compete. It's not anything outside of our world. But to have that sort of support about it is pretty fucking cool. Ugh.
Have you found it hard to not interfere with Chris's coaching, being a coach yourself, and like having any other ideas or ways you should be doing things this prep?
So, one of the things that makes Chris great is something very similar to how I do it myself, is when I work with a coach, I recognize and appreciate what their knowledge is and will include them in the process. So when it comes to feedback, overall, Chris has the final say and I'm just literally a gun. Point me and I'll shoot. But when making those decisions, he will ask me for my visual input, like, have I noticed new lines the photos aren't capturing? How am I feeling doing this? How do I feel right here? How's digestion? How's this, that, the other? Getting input from me to him with a very well-articulated knowledge base means that he can make better decisions, which allows me to feel involved as much as I love to control things, but also then be confident to take a step back and say, he's got final say. The other part is that the trust I immediately had with him as things started responding and working, there hasn't been a reason to doubt, question, or challenge, but rather I'll ask questions that I like to learn. Hey, what are you looking for here? What are you seeing here? What do you want me to be feeling? So that I can convey that back to him in real time as I need to. But all of that has made it really easy to step back and just say, this is your job to handle. I am literally just the canvas. You just tell me how to sculpt it and paint it. So yeah, it's made it a lot easier to be able to step back and do that. The only thing that has been a challenge to me is the day-to-day changes. I usually just set my plan for the week and execute. Coming into a peak week like this, Chris has a baseline he runs from and then reactively adjust things each day, maybe even during the day. So that's been a new experience for me to kind of let go of. But besides that, no, once I trust someone, the proof, the knowledge, the respect is there. There's no reason to doubt, just simply do what they say. Yeah. If he says dig, I'll fucking run through mountains right now for Chris if he told me to. If he said run at that truck and that'll get you a first place on stage, I'm probably running at the truck. But I also trust he wouldn't say that.
How do you find coaching your clients while you're in this state?
Honestly, I think it's been better because I don't have the filter for bullshit. definitely lessons from this I've taken that I'll be taking to progress out of the prep as well. But just a lot more down the line, what's expected, updates, communication. I set that as like, let's say I have 100% energy for the day, but that 100% is like 50% of its normal capacity. I'm dedicating 70% of that to go to the team to make sure that they're getting my max effort available. And then the rest is like training, nutrition, rest, sleep, that sort of thing, cardio, steps. But it's removed a lot of noise that I've just been able to isolate and focus on the team, get things done, stay on top of my planning, really make sure that, you know, programs up to date, check-ins are done, feedback is finished off, video reviews are done. So like they get all of what I have available, which I think is pretty much the primary responsibility of a coach. Just because you decide to prep does not mean your clients get lesser service. It means that they should get the most of the energy that you have available to give, and then you do your stuff. And that's what I've really tried to emulate this year, is that no matter what, at the depth of whatever condition I get to, no client can say, oh, Ben dropped off his service. Might say you will notice a little bit more tired, or like, you know, you're a little slower. Honestly, most of the clients have actually said I've been talking faster because it's just how my head seems to work. But yeah, in terms of like how it's gone this prep, my overall energy after I've done check-ins and work for the day is a lot heavier, weaker. But in the moment, I actually get recharged quite well, especially by clients that do their check-ins really well, put in a lot of detail, are getting maximum results, you know, pushing their effort, their intensity. It really gives me a lift to want to stay at front of what we push. So make sure that I'm leading from an example of, you know, how hard you can actually go.
Yeah.
So that's been good. Woo!
A little louder for the people in the back.
Woo! Woo! That's a posing routine, Ric Flair.
What? Nah, it's not us.
Nah, someone else somewhere. Just vibing,
It's having a great time
just living my best life.
until he finishes his session, gets in the car.
Oh, 100%. That happens every day. I'll do an update on what actually changed this week
Yeah.
while I think about it. All right, so this week, as we sort of said earlier, Chris runs from a very baseline at the start of the week sort of process. Very simple linear modulations. Output stress goes down, diet fatigue gets reduced, calories kind of match or go up with it. So Friday was the top update because I had a massive drop on Thursday and Friday morning. Lost about 2 kilos in the week. A couple of ups as well, so the average was down about a total kilo. Had a top up day Friday, then back to a moderate day, a low day on Saturday. And then we've kind of titrated food up across the week as the output's gone down. So cardio was out Sunday, cardio was out yesterday. Food was 225 carbs on Saturday. Again, had a weight drop. We're managing to track 4 times a day now for weight. We cleared 3 kilos Saturday, 3.2 kilos Sunday, 3.8 kilos last night. So carbs went 225, 325, and then today we're at 425, and potential for it to go higher as well. So Chris has sort of kept it in the back of my mind, like it might go to 500. But as stress is coming down, you know, clearance, bowel movements are very, very good. Weight is dropping like as the day goes on. So it's all just like, again, trusting the process. It's not so much that the peak itself is magical, it's that we're reducing so much stress and fatigue to allow the body to prime and do its job. Made some modifications to vegetables as of yesterday. So less broccoli, less cauliflower, less heavy fibrous veg, more towards things like simple digestible vegetables like carrots, zucchini, cucumber, tomato. And that'll be kind of like the play for the rest of the week. But yeah, right now, 420 carb today with the potential of 500 is going to be unreal. Considering, in 3 days I'll have more carbs than I've had in probably 4 weeks. So it's going to be pretty fun. But yeah, just kind of like a little update of how the week's traveled so far. And I've got no idea. It could be more, it could be less tomorrow, it could be, who knows. It's all just now managing how the look responds and how the body responds, but we keep dropping weight. So fill that shit up. Woo! Up. I'll tell you what, the hardest thing about this fatigue, it's like there's a delay between what my brain thinks and what my body does. Like there's a 10-second glitch.
Yep.
I want to move my leg and it's like, move your leg. But it's like everything.
With even like with all movements or after a set or just whenever.
Everything.
Yeah.
Going for steps, like if we go to get a coffee and finish off our walk, if I stop, it's harder to get back up and keep going than if I just didn't stop.
Yeah.
If I like sit down to do check-ins, it's just like, I've got to click the mouse. I've got to move the mouse.
Yeah.
It's just like the gap between the thought, the intention, and the execution is so slow right now. Like, to the outside person, because I have so many systems in place, and we talk about preparing psychologically for this stuff, I have that many systems and processes so I don't have to think. But when it comes to to doing, it's just that delay in thought, execution, intention, contraction. It was like probably last week's training session for legs. I was physically at the point where I felt strong, but I simply couldn't get the muscle to contract. There was literally nothing in the tank. I was messaging Chris, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do here, but I physically cannot get the weight to move the way I want it to.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I was moving from A to B, but it was just like, I couldn't connect it. After training for as long as I do, I'm like, I could not connect the muscle properly. One thing I'm really, really looking forward to is just feeling strong again.
Yep.
Like, I was having the greatest prep in terms of like strength up until like 4 weeks out. I was progressing every movement to probably like, I'd say 80% of my movements. I'd say 100% of my primary movements were going up.
Yep.
And then it just got to this cap, this wall, and it was just like, no dice. I'm like, it's the most fun I've ever had training in a prep. And the shit part is now I'm at the point where it's like, I can't have that. Like, it's fun, I'm getting great pumps, but like, I'm now ready to get back to like training fucking hard.
Yep.
I know where my weaknesses are in my physique. I know what we need to improve. I know what Chris knows we need to improve. I'm like, I'm all aboard to, make the most of this season, take it in and enjoy what I've built. But it's like, now I'm just ready to get back after it. Get the weaknesses filled in and start pushing it.
How long until you feel like because you got shows back, you'll still have another one, like
Nationals is 2 weeks later. So it's interesting because although it's 2.5 weeks left, there's only probably one heavy week of work left to go.
Yep.
Like the week straight after States, we finish on Saturday. I'll be back to diet on Sunday. Whatever plans Chris comes up with Monday through to Friday. And then we start the peak week again on Saturday like we did this week. So relatively, there's probably 5 hard days of shut the fuck up and get through it to bring an even better look for the following week. And that's all depending on how Chris even pushes things. We might be on point after this show, I don't know. But yeah, realistically, 3.5 years, there's probably one heavy week of training and dieting left where it's like, go all out and suffer it and then get right back to, easing off stress again. So
yeah.
It seems far and it's going to be a lot, but at the same time, it's not.
How far, so once the whole season's done, how long till you start to get that?
Well, this is all going to depend on what Chris wants to do, but he did say, if we come out of this season, we're healthy, with the condition that I'm in, the sensitivity that I'm going to have, and the responses that I've been getting already, like we've technically recomped, I think, like, you know, very depleted right now, waking up at 83 kilos. I'm loading up on food at about 86 and a half. So 86 kilos, you know, coming off stage, will be in a state to just probably start growing. My health has never been better. My nutrient diversity, my micronutrients, my calorie intake, my output levels, my stress levels, everything's perfect. So we probably won't go straight to high dose supplements, but it'll be kind of just like it's definitely time to rebound out, keep things up, and start to push if there's no niggles or like real bad issues.
Yeah.
So probably a couple of weeks to get healthy, get blood work done, and then if it's all good, let's just fucking go.
Yeah.
Like my next plan is not getting back on stage until I'm like 95 stage weight. So right now I'm gonna be about 85, 86. Next one's gonna be like 95. So that's 10 kilos of gaining.
Yeah.
And at my height, it's a lot of work. But I also think I've never been in this position with this kind of coach. Like, to have someone who actually understands me and my drive for it and what I love, and has been in there himself, it's gonna make this whole reverse out next level.
That was a good set.
So what I'm very, very excited about is Josh's shows.
Yeah.
It's hard to contain it. Like I should be looking forward to my own work, but at the same time, like I'm more excited for my peak week strategies for Josh, because like my show, I have to have his peak week ready to go as my peak week is happening for nationals, because his show is the following weekend. His check-in's on Fridays, so we'll be landing in Melbourne. I'll be sending him his check-in on what to do every day going forward. I'll be getting on stage and then getting off, checking his data to see how he's responded. So yeah, I'm very excited for the following week to my final show. Oh man. Oh. Now, I don't know what it is. I know what it is. It's a culmination of everything over the last half decade, but something about this year just feels like everything is aligned and it's meant to be. Like, I'm not a fake guy, it's meant to be happening guy, but like everything we've worked for is starting to feel like it's happening at this point. Like, I've got, after this semester, which I'm going to smash, I've got one semester left of uni. We've grown an international multi-figure coaching business, and the money's irrelevant. The money allows us to do our job, but we've grown that with me working full-time in the business and 20 to 30 hours a week at university. Next year, I get a full 12 months before I decide to restudy again with no university interruptions. Just absolute focus on growing the business and working with more people and getting more athletes, taking care of more athletes. We've got 2 trips to America this year, going back on major podcast platforms, running workshops, webinars, seminars, connecting with more pro bodybuilders, posing workshops, running workshops here. You know, my show, Josh's shows, the client base that we have, like, we just continue to refine a higher standard of client. There are clients that are phasing out, that have graduated and achieved all of their dreams and goals that they possibly want to get with us. Now seeing that they want to turn to like financial goals and financial freedom, moving on from that to, you know, what they've learned from their physique, they put into their businesses, their careers, their finances, their relationships. It's like, we're a slower building company or a slower building coaching platform because we don't sell gimmicks. But at the same time, it's starting to feel like this year is paying off all that slow build. And that doesn't mean there's a 7-figure check coming in the door. It's fucking not even like that. Our money goes to more business stuff, more content, more output. But it just feels like everything's just starting to culminate and happen. I think, ironically, I think the Instagram collapsing was probably the best driver for our page, because we've been able to like refocus, narrow everything down, get back to exactly what we want to talk about, and really just highlight this back end of season with no other interruptions. So it's like all these things, like, well, they're bad, there's good, bad, heavy, shit, fun. It's just all like, it feels like it's happening. That's the cool part. Woo! Yep. A couple of reps in the tank.
Where to next?
Assisted chin-ups. Actually, there is something I want to rant on. I wasn't going to rant on this, but it needs to happen because I'm sick of seeing it. If you're in a prep, whilst I get fatigue, tiredness, exhaustion, you do not get to be a dick at the gym because you're in a prep. No one else at this gym or at any other gym signed up to bend the knee to you in your preps or what you're doing. If you are too tired to unrack a machine, don't put the weight on. If you can't handle prepping to the point where you get to walk around and click fingers at people and whistle at people to help you do shit, get the fuck out of the gym. That is not what bodybuilding's about. You don't get to do that just because you're prepping. Everyone in here is doing their own thing, training for their thing. You deciding to prep does not give you the right of way to demand things of others, to expect of others, to be entitled to machinery, to hog equipment. Everyone's paying the same amount of money in this gym to be here. If I see someone clicking fingers or snapping at members walking past or demanding that someone helps them, oh man, I'll lose my shit. Actually saw this. Someone clicked their fingers at another member because they were too tired to unrack the squat press. I don't care what depth of prep you're in. I don't care what level of food you're on. If that is how you act when you're fatigued, don't fucking prep. Woo! Come across as cringy when you say, like, it's hard because, like, I know I'm not at the level yet where, like, a Tim Grover, where someone's like, you need to be able to change the world, this, that, and the other. But
No.
like, I think when I say it now and when it happens in 10 years' time,
Yeah.
the same message is going to be different. Sorry, the message isn't going to change. I'm saying what I saw now, and then people will see it 10 years' time.
That's it, yeah. No, it's definitely not. What goes through your mind on comp day? Like what are you thinking on comp day, or are you even thinking? Are you going with the flow? What's the
Well, there's obviously two hats to wear, right? As coach and as client. As coach, I'm trying to take on as much of the anxiety and stress from the client as possible without displaying that. So I'm thinking, what time are things happening? Are there changes to the run schedule, run sheets? Are they on time, off time? What times are we getting pump ups, and how far from the show are we doing reveals and lookovers and feed ups, manipulations? As an athlete, I'm just mentally visualizing my poses, my time on stage, what that medal's gonna look like, what it's gonna smell like, what the sound of the audience is like. Just basically visualizing what success looks like to me up there, and just trying to breathe through it, just remind myself. So physiologically, neuropsychologically, there is a very, very, very minimal difference between excitement and nerve. Arousal doesn't understand the difference. It's how you articulate the language of the difference. So for me, I'm constantly reminding myself, the work has been done. There's nothing more you can do except display what you built. The best you have to offer right now is what's here. You are excited, not nervous. At the end of the day, I am 0.1% of the world population that's going to get up in the bodybuilding stage that looks in this condition. In 100 years time from now, every single person in that audience is going to be dead. What they think of my look, how I feel about my look, what they think of my posing, none of that matters. The fact is that I did it regardless of what anyone else thinks. So when I go through those thought processes, it's the best way that I can manage to control any anxieties, worries, excitement, arousal, nervousness. I just try and be present and enjoy it. It takes me back to my football days. There was grand finals where I let the nerves kick in and it got the best of me. There were grand finals where I just breathed through it, embraced it, and just entered like a flow state and played my game. That's what bodybuilding is on stage. You just got to play your game and just be there where your feet are. Because if you try to think 10 steps ahead, if you try to think 5 steps back, if you try to think you missed a shot, anxiety just starts to spiral and pick up. And the best thing you can do is be present, be mindful, and just play where your feet are. It's the best advice for any sport, any contest, any division, any event, is just be where your feet are and play at bat. If you do that, there's nothing more you can do. And that kind of helps keep my head clear and just sort of like relax things as much as possible. This is actually probably just continuing on from that. Like this will be a cut piece, I'm sure. Like we'll cut it up, but this is where I think performance psychology and psychological skills aren't understood enough by coaches in this space. You've got performance coaches, mindset coaches, psychology coaches, sports psychologists, performance psychologists in major league teams, major sporting franchises, major sports, major events, dance, drama, acting, movies, business, CEOs. We roughly teach the same optimization skills, performance skills. When it comes to bodybuilding, we don't look at it like that sort of coachable sport. And I think it's a very misunderstood approach that can bring a lot out of athletes on show day and the weeks leading up to it. So for me, it's why I try to bring as much of that psychological skill and tool that I believe in and that I study and that I focus on to help people out. So why we're building so much content around it, because it's not in the space yet. People talk about mindfulness and a little bit of acceptance and stress reduction. That's great. But at the level where there is performance psychology in hockey, NFL, baseball, cricket, soccer, rugby league, AFL, swimming, executives, CEOs, for bodybuilding, it's kind of just like, oh, just stress less. Cool, man. What does that mean? Have a goal. Cool, man. What does that mean? Like, it deserves more. And there's skills and tools and language that we can use to try and improve that. And it's something that I try to bring to our game.
Thank you.
Alrighty guys, that is our last training vlog before show. Everything is going to plan, happy as Larry. Check-in photos done, posing routine practiced. Everything is happening today. We'll get those photos sent off to Chris for review, what he thinks. And then we'll be, just getting meals in across today and getting everything prepared. We're heading down to the Gold Coast tomorrow after I get massage done, so we're getting some lymph training, de-stress, a little bit of a knot in my left lat to get sort of like freed up a little bit. We'll get that done, got a haircut Wednesday morning, and really just getting check-ins and finished today. And then it's, straight down the Gold Coast, relax, get feet up, get, settled in, check-in photos also to Chris, and off we go. So it's all really now just fine-tuning, de-stressing, let the body do its job. Work's been done. There's really not much left for us to do except just these fine-tuning details. Session by session, Chris will tell me what he wants done, what he wants me to do. And from here it's just kind of executing the plan as best I can. We got, I believe, 425 carbs today. It could go up again as I just keep clearing out and go to the bathroom, but again, that's not my job to think about. It's just to send the data, send the photos, and let Chris do his job. So all in all, if you are looking for coaching and you are ready to get on stage and you want to bring a physique that looks like this, book in a call, lock in an inquiry form, let us know that you're interested. I'm not waiting to get out of show or out of season and slowly get back into work. I'm all about clients and business the second we are finished. My time is nearly done, and then it's time to focus back on all of you, providing content, value, education. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow, leave questions, tell us what you want to see coming out of the reverse. All that stuff gives us an idea of what you guys need and want. Message us, let us know, book in, and we'll go from there.